Hello, my name is Denis Chaibi. I'm the EU ambassador to the Maldives. I've been nominated by the UN resident coordinator, Catherine, as well. I started my career as a water skiing instructor, and after that it went downhill. As EU ambassador to the Maldives, what are the responsibilities you take? So the fundamental work of an ambassador is to advance the relations between his country or her country, like the EU, and the country where he or she is hosted, the Maldives. So how do we advance that? We advance that through a strong partnership on climate change. We have a lot of things to offer, but the one that has the full legitimacy to talk about climate change is the Maldives. We're looking at governance, human rights. We have some experience there. Maldives is a good example of what respect for human rights and governance can bring. So we want to work together and defend the cause of democracy in the world. So this is how we advanced EU-Maldives relations. The second question is, climate change and environment is a key priority for the EU. Is the world doing enough on climate change and adaptation? What do you think of the Maldives' efforts in this area? We are never doing enough for climate change. All the UN reports, all the experts tell us that we are not doing enough. But again, I think that with the Maldives and the foreign minister, who is the chair of the UN General Assembly, and the EU with its wide diplomatic network, but also its strong efforts to limit the emissions, we are a great partnership to convince the world that more can be done. The next question is, have you had a chance to travel within the Maldives? What did you find the most interesting? So I came first to the Maldives in 1988. Yeah, I'm very old. And at that time, the Maldives was very, very different. I took a very slow boat to go just to the next island and lived like a fisherman for a few days. And the thing that it taught me is how a society can change so fast. The Maldives has changed incredibly in these few years, for the better, with lots of economic growth, but also with a very real challenge in terms of environment. Is the growth sustainable? That's where the Maldives has to think about in the coming years. Next question, what was the best advice you've ever received from a senior? So a long time ago, when I had seniors, the best advice I got is that the easy route when you're young is not the best one. When you're young, you have the energy, you have the belief, you have the ambition. Go for the tough challenge. It will be a reward later. And the last question is, how do you foresee EU-Maldives relations? The EU-Maldives relations are going from strength to strength. Thanks to the renewed commitment of the Maldives to democracy, the EU-Maldives partnership has been upgraded. We are looking at doing more in environment, in fisheries, in governance, and we have substantial funding to move towards that direction. I'd like to appoint Mrs. Sabra Nordin, Special Envoy for Climate Change, as the next person for the challenge.